Welcome to week 9 of our 10-week Tai Chi course. Hope you've been enjoying it. Please go back to the other 8 videos if you want to revise where we are up until this point. But at the end of this video, we will be working through the first 9 forms all in a row, so you can practice at the end if you like. Let's start by turning our palms to face the front. As we always do at the start of every practice, we welcome in, lifting up, breathing in, sense of new learning, new beginning. And then when we sigh out, we turn the palms and we're letting go of anything that's fixed, anything that we think we know. Next breath comes, sense of new beginnings, allowing, accepting whatever is here, and then letting go, making space, making room. One more time. In today's practice, we're going to learn the 9th principle of Yang Chen Fu, which is to have continuity without interruption, this set feeling of flow. Often in Qigong, we call it Wu Wei, this idea of action that is effortless, that is efficient, that is simple. So let's start with a few kind of movements that are slightly circular. We'll bring our wrists together, one wrist pulling in, one pushing out. And then just bring your attention to that point. This is our Neigong point. A few finger widths just underneath your wrist crease, around this part of your wrist. And feel them pressing into each other. And then when you're ready, start to roll one wrist over the other. This is a point on our pericardium meridian for ease. You might like to change direction. How do we keep flowing? How do we stay like the river? Always moving, never the same. Even though a river might look the same, always new. And we do this practice, we do Tai Chi to find this sense of continuity. So we're not always wanting to stop and start our lives. We're able to just keep going, moving with nature, with everything around us. As we often see when we stop, other things keep moving and we can become out of sync with the rest of the world around us. So we have to always keep changing, keep evolving, moving, transforming. All right, let's let our arms be really loose, wrists loose. So we're not going to really do any major warm-up today, but we will just do small movements. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time on what's called a silk reeling exercise. This exercise to work with continuous flow in the body. Now we'll just start with a very simple silk reeling exercise. Let's take our feet a little wider than hip width. So we're in a horse stance. You might like to tuck the tailbone under. Knees are a little bent. Back is straight. Shoulders are heavy. Just as a little rounded. And take a moment here just to feel crown of the head lifting up. Feel that sense of heaviness, stability through the ground beneath. We'll take one hand to our lumbar spine. Our other hand is going to just come up. And I'll just invite you at the start to take your eyes to the tip of your fingers. And then we're going to see if we can follow this hand with our eyes. And our hand is going to move with the hip. And when our hip can't move, we're going to stop, and then we're going to take the palm, turn it out and take it back. And our hip is going to move again until it can't move again. So we're aligning our upper body and our lower body, our shoulders, our hips, our gaze. We want to have our elbow heavy, our wrist heavy, no tension in the body. And see if you can just find a rhythm with your breath. You might have stopped moving your hip or stopped moving your shoulders. Just listen to each breath like a wave on a beach, coming and going. Most important thing is don't look at me, just listen to your own body. Let's take that hand behind the back and we'll just switch sides. Hip, shoulder moving. Notice if there's any tension in your elbows or your wrists. None of the head is still lifting. Feet are pressing down through the ground. Feel the balls of your feet. Back straight. Sense of never-ending movement, just like every breath in our life, from the moment we're born to the very last breath, defines the span of our life. Whether we're awake or asleep, we are always breathing. So we see if we can bring this sense of continuity and flow, simplicity to our movements as well. Might start to become aware of your muscles in your thighs drawing towards each other. Maybe your knee joints. Maybe a sense of weight shifting from one side to the other. You're ready. Just step back. feet underneath hips, shoulders heavy. Might like to place your palms on your dantian for a moment. Feel the breath continue underneath the palms. Today we're going to do the 9th form. So we finished last week's practice at the end of our grass the sparrow's tail with our push. You might remember that elbows are heavy, our weight is knees over ankle, we're in a bow stance. Our heel is turned out, our hips are facing the same direction as our hands. And just mirror me if you like for the start of this. We're going to follow the fingers with our eyes, leaning back first and then turning hip and fingers together. When we can't turn anymore, we lift the toes and we keep turning. A little bit pigeon-toed, and then we keep going all the way opening out. So our toes have opened out on this side. And then we're going to shift our weight back to this side. When all our weight is on this side, we're going to float our leg back. And then lifting up, crossing the palms, separating, and then sighing out. And then we step our legs together. So not a complicated one. Let's just break it down a little bit. Let's come back. So we finished our grass of sparrow's tail, our push form. Take a moment here. When you're ready, eyes follow the fingers. Lift the toes, turn in. Now we're going to keep going. Keep the hands up. Shift the weight. We're going to step back. Scoop up. Draw the hands in. Separate. Sigh out. Step back. All right, let's try it again. So take your time to get set at the start. Make sure your hips are facing the side. Our eyes and fingers move together. Turn the foot in. Keep going. Shift your weight. Step in. And then we lift. Separate. All right, I'm going to turn around now. Same form. So let's do the same side as me, I guess. So we'll be finishing our grass of sparrow's tail. Lean back. Take the hands across. Lift the toes. Keep going. Shift the weight. Step back. Cross the palms in. Separate. And step back in. All right, let's see if we can build that from the whole form. Let's move my mat a little. Don't really need a mat for Tai Chi, but there you go. All right. Let's do the whole form and we'll just work through it a few times. See if we can find our sense of flow in every form. As we always do, start legs together, feet together, arms heavy by the side, palms turned in. You're welcome to just mirror me if you like, usually simplest. You might like to scan through those handful of principles that we've learned through the course. Crown of our head is lifting, our chest is sunken, our back is expanded, Our elbows and shoulders are heavy. And you might notice that idea of using the mind rather than force as you flow through the sequence, unifying our upper body and our lower body, unifying our internal and our external, and then of course moving with flow. Today's principle. Let's start by stepping out. Shift your weight onto one leg. Step out. When you're ready, float up. Feel the yin and yang move as you turn the palm, drawing the hand in, sighing out. Now, shift your weight to one leg. We're going to follow the fingers with our eyes as we brush knee, turn the back heel and push across. Leaning back, shifting our weight. When you're ready, step out. Follow the finger with your eyes. Leaning back, shifting the weight again. And you find that sense of flow and effortlessness. And we rise up. Rasa Sparrow's tail, 4 separate moves. Roll back. Lift your weight. So now we get to today's point. Step back before you scoop up. Separate the palms. All right, take a moment, shake it out. Let's do the whole sequence. I'm going to turn around. We're going to do maybe 2 or 3 times the whole sequence from the back. So trust that you know, generally your body's intuition knows where to go. Just see if you can focus on this idea of flow today. Not so much trying to remember, but just trying to allow our body to just trust our intuition, trust that we know where to go. Let's start. Legs together, feet together, arms by the side. Bring your attention in. No rush to start. When you're ready, weight on one leg. We're going to float the leg out, heel down, shift the weight, lifting up. And repulse the monkey. Now we part the horse's mane. Our cloud hands. Lift the weight back. Let's lift our golden rooster. And our heel kick. Hold the ball. And step out. On the other side. And today's form. All right, give yourself a few moments. Notice how you feel after this short practice of Tai Chi. Not aiming to get anywhere, just like the river, to keep flowing. We might do one more of the full flow. Let's shake it out. Bring our attention in. When you're ready. Okay. Let's bring our palms together. You might like to bring them up to the face, just sealing in learnings of practice today. Maybe just to be a little more attentive or to notice a little more, hear a little more. And when we're ready, we'll join our palms at heart center. Thank ourselves for choosing to practice on this day. And of course, bow to each other.